Hello, it's Karen here from Dark Moon Emporium, and in today's video I've been lasering on painted glass. I saw this idea in a Facebook group for Xtool F1 users. Now, at present, I am preparing for a craft fair, which is going to take place in October. So I'm working on items with a spooky theme because I think they'll sell well. And I thought a glass Ouija board might be popular. So I decided I would try using the technique on a 30 centimetre, that's 12-inch glass placemat that I got from Rinket. And that's what I did. I got the plate ready for lasering. My first job was to remove the little plastic feet that were on the back of the plate. I just pried them off with a kitchen knife, and then I thoroughly cleaned the plate. I used alcohol and lighter fluid to get rid of the last of the glue and gave it a jolly good wash. After the plate was super clean and dry, I masked one side so that I wasn't going to get paint on it, and then I sprayed the other side with a few coats of black paint. And while that was drying, I started to work on my design. So I've been playing in Extra Creative Space, and this is the design that I've decided I like, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to recreate how I made it just for the purposes of this video. So I'll open a new canvas, and let's close that out of the way so it doesn't distract me. And I'm going to begin by drawing a circle, and I'm going to make it 300 millimeters in diameter, and I'm going to move it to the red layer. Excuse me, had to cough there. And I'm going to create an offset of let's say 5 millimeters. No, let's go all the way down to 10 millimeters. Yep, that looks about okay. And I will confirm that and select them both and group. So these are going to be my guidelines. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my text tool, and I'm going to engrave. Going to move this, move this to a different layer, and I'm going to change the font to Captain Howdy, because that's a nice Ouija board looking font. And it's at 72 point, which is, I think, is about right. And I'm just going to type the alphabet. So just check that I've got all the letters there, because I have been known to leave some out. And while I'm on the subject, I get my text tool again, engrave again, and my font would be Captain Howdy again. And this time I'm just going to type numbers. Okay. All right, so I'm going to, oops, didn't want to do that. Select everything. Let's try that again, shall we? Select everything, there we go. And align, horizontal align center. Okay. So now I'm going to curve my letters just by putting down my the thing that always looks like a windscreen wiper to me. And I'm just going to align it so that the letters are up against the top of that inner ring, and I'm going to space them out a little, so I'm going to just increase the spacing. Is that too much? Let's go back one. And the same thing with the numbers, only this time I'm going to curve them so that they are up against so the bottom of the number is against the curve, if you see what I mean. I'm trying to operate and think at the same time, and it never bodes well. It needs to be changed just a little bit. That looks about right. And again, those are too close together, so let's space them apart a bit. And let's try spacing that one more. So space of 2. And everything is 72 point. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go to my layers, and I'm going to select both of those objects, and I'm going to group them. Okay. Right, so a couple more things before I leave this layer. I'm going to go to my shapes menu, and I'm going to bring in a star and resize that down, set it to engrave, and I think that looks about right there. Yep, that'll do. So again, I'm going to select that star, and I'm going to copy and paste it. And I'm just using the guidelines on the screen to line everything up the way I want it. Okay, so again, but again, let's go to the groups, and group everything. So I have a red group and a blue group. So now I want a central image. I want the words yes, no, and goodbye. And I also want to put the word spirit board across the top here. So let's begin with the image. And I'm just going to navigate to the one I want. No, that's not the one I want. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. So it's that image that I want. So I'm going to open that, and I'm going to resize it right down. And center it. So align, center. Okay. Nearly done. So back to my text tool, and it's all the way up there. This time I'm going to move it to the green layer just for fun. And again, it's an engrave, and this time I'm going to set the font to the first one on the list, Allegria. So I want the words yes, and no. Come here. And I'm pasting because it's quicker than choosing the font every time. So I'm going to write the word spirit board and goodbye. And did you know that the term Ouija board is copyright, but only for the game, the Ouija board game, if you want to call it that. The actual, you can use the term Ouija or Ouija board on anything else. So you can put it on a mug, on a t-shirt, you can have the alphabet letters, you can do all of that as long as you don't put it on the game. So this is, I think, is a little bit, I am kind of making this as a display item, but I suppose technically you could use it as a spirit board if you wanted to, if you were that brave. And again, I'm curving these letters, words. Like I said, I'm trying to do things and think and speak at the same time, and that's never going to end well. You know your limitations, Karen. You're getting on a bit now. Okay, and then yes and no, and I'll align those along the middle, and I'm going to move the no, nope, not that, thank goodness for Command Z. Oh, all right, be like that then. So let's go into the layers menu and select it that way. See, there's more than one way of skinning a cat. Okay, so I'm reasonably happy with that, and that is what I am going to take to my laser and engrave. I've moved up to my craft room ready to make the burn. A couple of things that I need to do before I do that though. So first of all, I'm going to select everything and I'm going to reflect horizontally because I'm going to be making a burn on the back of my glass plate. I'm going to the engraving layers and I'm going to turn off the output. So now the only thing that I'm going to be cutting is my score layer, and I'm going to come down here to process and I'm going to make sure that my processing start point is absolute coordinates. So I'm not going to bother with framing because I've got a big piece of cardboard in my D1 and I'm going to go to process. So I've now got the two circles scored into my big piece of cardboard, and that will help me position my glass panel. So I've got my guidelines scored onto my piece of cardboard. I've positioned my glass plate onto the cardboard. I've set the focus and now I'm ready to start my engrave. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the output for the score lines, and I'm going to turn on the output for the engraved layers, and I'm going to hit process. To finish the plate, I wiped off the residue before spraying on gold paint, and finally a coat of white primer. This was to make sure that the back was opaque before I glued on a 1mm thick cork backing. Here's how it turned out, and I'm actually pretty pleased with it. So I'm probably going to use the technique to make some more and some small coasters as well, ready for the fair. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do click the thumbs up button below. And if you really enjoyed it and would like to see more, then please do click on the subscribe button. It's free for you, but it really does help my channel. For now though, Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye bye.